Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have another interesting episode for you guys. You definitely want to stick around for us, so make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, as all of you are fully aware at this particular point, the Brooklyn Nets are mired in total drama, right? They're just swimming in it right now. The team that we once knew is no longer that team. At one point in time, the Brooklyn Nets had James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving. And we were all talking about this team possibly being able to be one of the next NBA dynasties and definitely winning at least two of the next NBA championships. They were definitely, that trio, the scariest trio in the NBA and probably the most potent offense, or probably the most potent trio of offensive players ever put together on any NBA team, where on any given night, that team was averaging over 75 points per game just between three players. I can't even think of a trio that was anything close to that Brooklyn Nets trio. Not even the Golden State Warriors when they had Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, and Klay Thompson. Not even them, right? Not even them. They were that scary. That team went from being that perennial, finals favorites, to now the team has been reduced down to no longer having, think about this, James Harden. He's moved on to the Philadelphia 76ers. They're left with a player in Ben Simmons who we don't even know what his current state of affairs are. And now you have Kevin Durant, who seems to want out of Brooklyn, who's requested to go out of Brooklyn. And we have Kyrie Irving, whom we don't even know what his future is going to be. Is he going to be in Brooklyn beyond this year, or is he even going to get traded before the season starts? No one knows. No one knows. Now, this morning, I was doing some research, and I stumbled upon an article from, fadeawayworld.net, right? And the article basically featured some comments that Zach Lowe made on the Lowe podcast, where he basically introduced a shocking plot twist in this entire story. But before we get into that, this video is brought to you by our sponsor, Aura, who's also the official sponsor of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards, only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura, by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Let me get into what this article had to say, and let me read basically his comments on this situation in Brooklyn. And he basically said, there's a school of thought speaking to people around the league that they think that the Durant trade request was actually about him getting out of Brooklyn. It was wasn't actually about him getting out of Brooklyn. It was about getting Kyrie out of Brooklyn. But the reason why that this is all kind of stuck in the mud right now is that the Nets will not make a major move like that with Kyrie until they are 100% crystal clear that the true intentions of Kevin Durant would be to move off of Kyrie Irving in order to stay. And as to my last couple of nights in Vegas, I left there about a week ago, that still remained up in the air. It was all in a period of stasis because Brooklyn was not ready to make a major move until they are completely sure that they have the understanding of what it would take to keep Kevin Durant in a Nets uniform. So those were the comments that Zach Lowe had to make. Wow. What a development. What a development. Here are my thoughts on this, because I have a few. I believe that there may be some truth to this reporting, and I'll tell you exactly why I think so. The reason I think so is because of Kevin Durant's history, because of his past. It has been reported that KD is one of these guys that's not a get in your face type of guy with his teammates. Now, he may, go back and forth with another player on the basketball court, right? You may see him get into some chippy situations with some fans, maybe, talking back. We know he does that. But there hasn't been any reports of him basically going at his teammates and basically telling them to their face, I like this, or I don't like what you're doing. There aren't really any reports like that. And in fact, the narrative surrounding Kevin Durant is that he is more of a follower than a leader. That's the narrative. Now, do I know if that's true? How the heck am I going to know that? Because I've never been around KD. I don't know what it's like to be in a locker room with him. So that's the first part that makes me believe this, because KD seems to be an agreeable type of guy, right? He's probably a guy that doesn't want stress. He just wants everybody to be happy, and he's not willing to, to get in everybody's face. So I find it hard to believe that Kevin Durant would have had a conversation with Kyrie Irving where he basically told him face to face, listen, I don't like what you're doing. I don't agree with what you're doing. I like this, what you're doing. I find that very, 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 very hard to believe. And I don't think KD is one of these kind of like maybe Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant type of players, maybe Shaq, these type of guys that are very, very abrasive, that will get in guys' faces. And usually when you have a scenario like that where players are not so confrontational, then you need to have a coach or maybe another governing body to be able to mediate these type of issues. Right. And in cases like the Miami Heat, they have a culture, so something like that will not happen. With Eric Spoelstra, of course, you have Pat Riley, or you may need a coach like maybe a Greg Popovich. They'll be the one that's the captain of the ship and ensuring that these type of things don't happen. In the case of the Brooklyn Nets, they don't have that, right? They don't have that, and it's the reason why things like this can continue to fester, right? So I believe that there's possibly some truth to this. And if in fact it is true, it raises some very serious questions. Number one, if this is true, what does this say about Kevin Durant's decision-making abilities to decide, and when he decided to play in Brooklyn with the Brooklyn Nets organization? That's one question. Another question could be, what does this say about Kyrie Irving's reputation? Because Kyrie Irving now has a reputation of being a guy that wherever he goes, always some type of drama follows him. And this would be the third example of it. You had Cleveland with the falling out with him and LeBron James, them not being on the same page. Then you had the situation with the Boston Celtics, and now you have the situation with the Brooklyn Nets. Those are three examples. So what does this do to Kyrie Irving's reputation? Another question worth asking is, what role did management have to play in all of this? What about the Nets management? This is the owner. This is the GM. This is the coach. What role did they have to play in this? Were they stewards of the ship, or was that organization totally rudderless with these guys at the helm? This is another question we got to ask. And finally, should KD be an even more vocal leader? Should Kevin Durant been a more vocal leader from the very beginning, right? Should he have kind of set the standard from the very beginning and set the ground rules when he first got to Brooklyn? Even though he was invited by his best friend, given the fact that he is the best player on that team, or is whatever, should he have taken a more critical role in establishing a culture where they just knew that them as players would not be able to get away with certain things with Kevin Durant around? Right? There's certain things you can't get away with on certain teams with certain players because they're simply not going to go for it. And should the request of the team he request the team to move Kyrie Irving in order to salvage the situation? What if that option presents itself? What if they say, hey, listen, KD, listen, I believe we can salvage the situation, but we need your blessings for us to get Kyrie Irving out of here, right? Or should he even go up there and make that request, right? And would he gain public support if he decided to stay in Brooklyn? Imagine if he decided to stay and not leave, and Kyrie Irving leaves and he tries to right the ship himself, right? So there's so many questions that we can ask. And ultimately, the biggest one is, should he have chosen to play with Kyrie? Should he have decided to play with LeBron James or Kawhi Leonard instead of playing with Kyrie Irving when he had that opportunity, because he did have an opportunity at one time to be a teammate of Kawhi Leonard, and he decided not to, and he decided to play with. So there's so many questions, right? I think this report brings up more questions than answers. And to what Shannon Sharpe and others have been saying, this thing could get ugly, because as of now, the Nets are in total limbo. They're in total limbo because KD, last time I checked, has not reneged on his request of wanting to be traded. He still wants to be traded last time I checked, and he has yet to be traded, right? So to me, I think there's going to be a lot more information is going to come out about this. But the question is, to the audience, what do you think about this report? Do you think it's true? And what are your thoughts about it if it is true? Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comment section, and we definitely catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.